Hello, my name is Michelle Bentz, and I am your online Introduction to Sociology instructor. I am located on the Columbus campus, but I usually have students taking this course from all locations and all over the United States. I just wanted to provide you a little bit of a Meet Your Instructor video and a little bit of a tutorial in terms of some things that would help you be successful in this course and maybe how to navigate this course. So as I mentioned, you're supposed to be in an online, what we call instructor-led or instructor-paced Introduction to Sociology course. Instructor-paced means that there are weekly due dates that are set by myself, and in most semesters, my online Introduction to Soc course, the weekly due dates are typically on Sunday evenings at midnight, but you'll want to make sure you check your calendar. And speaking of the calendar, you can locate that under your upcoming events block, which you can see over here on the left-hand side. I have mine what we call docked. Normally, when you first log in, these tabs are located over here on the right-hand side of your screen. So for example, these blocks can actually be docked. So if you click on this little gray button, it's going to make it disappear and go over here on the left-hand side. So that makes your screen a little bit bigger. So I'll leave these up just here for a moment, and then you know in the future that if you ever want to make this main part of your screen larger, you can dock them by clicking on this gray button. So make sure you follow along on the upcoming events. That is your calendar for this course, and you can see here that for this course and this semester I have everything set up for Sundays, so always check your due dates when things are due. When you click on any one of these, depending on what type of an activity or assignment it is, it may or may not be a live link directly to that assignment. But if you click on it, for example, this takes you to that exact date. And whenever you see this little symbol, that means it's a discussion forum. And I put a little disclaimer in here that in the calendar in particular, your discussion forums are not live links. You have to go back to the course homepage or through your activities tab, which was over here on the right-hand side when we were on our course homepage, that takes you to a direct link to the advanced forums spots. Now all of these actual assignments are live links. If you click on them, it will take you right to the assignment page. And this is our first activity that's required, and it tells me a little bit about yourself. So when you're doing your activities, make sure you read all the directions. And then my screen's a little bit different since I'm the instructor. Down on the bottom of your screen, when you scroll down, you should have a Edit My Submission or Submit button that will take you into a text box screen for you to begin typing your submission. So to go back to your course homepage, we call these breadcrumbs up here. You go back to this main name right here, 17 Summer Soc 1010 DCWD1, depending on when you're taking it. But find this location, you click on it, it will take you right back to your course homepage. Just a quick navigation, or you could obviously click the back button. So it is a weekly due date. Make sure you watch the calendar. The only time I deviate away from the regular due date of Sundays is if the Sunday happens to be over a holiday, then I might adjust the due date. So for example, I believe there is an adjusted due date over possibly like the 4th of July, or sometimes if it's fall break, spring break, I would adjust those due dates. So do follow along. The other thing I'll mention to you when we're talking about the course calendar and due dates is that I do accept late work. You just need to get it into me by the final due date in the course, which I always state at the very top of the screen. So depending on when you're taking this course, this due date will be highlighted in black. So make sure you pay attention to when the final due date is, and that will be when the last day I would accept any late work. After that, everything remains a 0. Prior to that, you can still submit it, and then you lose some points, usually 2 to 3 for it being a late assignment. So when you get logged in and you're feeling a little bit comfortable with the navigation, I just wanted to point out you have some resources up here on the green tabs up across the top. There's student resources, the bookstore to go directly to the link to find the book. You also have access to the Student Center information. This is where your help desk info is if you need to reset your password or you're having technical difficulty in the course, be sure to go to your help desk. So that's located right up here under the Service Center, I should say. This is also a direct link to access your student email. It's very important to check your email weekly. If I need to get in touch with you directly where I don't want to send a course announcement, I will send you an email. You can email me very quickly through quick mail. That's your little block over here, or if you docked it over here, If you just do compose new email, it'll open you right up to the course information. You can select my name and send me a direct email. I always answer my emails within, for sure, 24 hours, and that's actually a long time for me. Usually it's within 12 hours. I check my email constantly all day long. So if you happen to not hear from me within 24 hours, something happened, send me another email. You will not offend me by sending me repeated emails. That's never a problem. So don't ever hesitate to get in touch with me. So you can do compose new email. You should always check your email through this tab up here on the top. There's also some course resources, just some how-to documents if you need to upload photos and you're kind of confused about that. There's also softwares that you can download for free that sometimes help with your computer. We always recommend you use the Firefox browser, which again is right here for free. There's also Adobe readers to help with your different documents that you have. So that's a little bit of information about the resources on the top. Here's how to access your quick mail directly to me. Again, check your email very often. Also, what you'll want to do is follow along. Sorry, my lights are going off in here. Let me move for a minute. There we go. Apologize. I mentioned in terms of completing and navigating through this course, I always recommend starting at the top of your course home screen and always working your way down your screen. And the first thing you're going to want to do is read your course syllabus for this course. It's a PDF file. It should pull right up for you. It will tell you a little bit about what this course covers. It's going to tell you all the work that needs to be completed by the end of the semester. It's going to give you my direct information. The best way to get in touch with me is through email. You can leave me a phone call, but it might take me a little longer to get back to you after I've checked my voicemail. It will also give you a little bit of information about how to access your textbook if you want to buy it through the bookstore, my grade scale, and then my grading information. So what will be covered in this course? You will have 5 exams covering usually 2 to 3 chapters in the book. Each exam you have 50 minutes to complete it. There's usually anywhere from 50 to 60 multiple choice questions. Each one's worth 2 points. We have about 13 short writing assignments. These are called Applying Sociology in Everyday Life. They're worth anywhere from 10 to 20 points. You have 8 discussions, a minimum of 8. It could be more if you're taking this throughout the course year. And then also study guides are provided. There's also possible extra credit. And then I give you a little bit of a breakdown if you're shooting for an A to give you an idea how many total points you need to get. The rest of my course syllabus gives you a little bit of my expectations, how to communicate. I do really want you to read through this, your textbook information, your responsibilities. And then lastly, I end with all the course competencies, which are what you will be expected to know at the end, and the objectives on how we will get there, the learning objectives. So do please spend some time reading your course syllabus before you do anything. The other area that's very important is our course announcements. I will post a weekly announcement the day after I'm done grading, which for this course is typically Monday or Tuesday. So go in here and check a little bit. I'll give you a recap of the week, and I'll also mention some tidbits about what to plan for the following week, or if I'm ever going to be gone or something might come up where I change a due date, which I don't very often do. All that information would be located in your course announcements. Then if we're just following along down the screen, you'll want to make sure you just read through some of the information I have set forth out here. Each one of these boxes we call a folder. And so it's always really important, start at the top of the folder, read through all the information I have for you. I really work hard to provide some very important sequential information. So it's important you read through it in the order that I have for you. That will give you some information on how to be successful, and it's how the course will make sense for you. So here's again, I've outlined the work to be completed by the end of the course. I've also given you some parameters on the discussion requirements. You're going to want to read through those. That's how I grade discussions. And then we come to our first week. And you'll notice here that each folder is titled with one of the course competencies on what we'll cover. I also try to make it simple for you and tell you when things are due for each folder. You do need to pay attention if you're taking this course in the summer, because in the summer, sometimes I have 2 folders worth of work due. So always scroll down or pay attention on your upcoming events calendar on what's due, because you can see for this first week, Sunday, May 28th, there's 2 folders worth of work that are due, folders 1 and 2. So make sure that you take note of that. And again, once you read through the content at the top, you're going to want to progressively complete and read each one of these activities in the order that they're laid out. And that will be very beneficial for you, and it will make sense if you follow along in the course in that fashion. And then each folder, I always summarize some of the important information, some information I want you to know, things you need to pay attention to for the exam. And that's how each folder is laid out. As I mentioned, all work is always due on the same day, and it's all work for that week. So you can plan on accomplishing that. You can always work ahead in the course. You'll just be penalized if you fall behind. And I encourage you to stay on top of things, try not to follow behind. I mentioned I usually try to grade on Mondays and Tuesdays. And I also give feedback on all assignments, all of your writing assignments. So when you go to your grade tab is under your administration block, which again will start off over here on the right-hand side. You click on your administration tab and you will have a link that says grade book or grades. Once you click on that, it'll give you an overview of all the assignments that we've had thus far and even future assignments, and it will tell you your grade as well as your feedback that I've given you for that assignment. And if you scroll down to the very bottom of your page on the gradebook page, it'll give you your overall course grade at that moment. The other big thing that I'll tell you and mention to you is that's really important in my online courses is try not to ever miss an exam. Exams close and you will automatically get a 0 if you miss an exam. If you know in advance that there's something that's going to come up and you're really going to struggle to get the exam completed, notify me in advance and we can work around that, and I'll set you a separate due date. But if you let the exam lapse and you don't notify me, my policy is typically to give you a 0. It's very important to communicate with me in advance about exams. The other thing I'll mention to you is if you're struggling, please contact me. Always read your syllabus, look for information, but I look forward to working with you and helping you if you are struggling with any course contact or content. So the best way to do that is send me an email if you're not doing well. Again, utilize your study guides. These study guides are provided for you for every exam, and they will help you thoroughly plan for the exam. Especially since the exams are timed and you're going to want to progress through them with as much knowledge as you have in advance, not try to search around for it. So please, if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to let me know. I look forward to getting to know all of you and progressing through the course and hearing from you. So if you ever have questions, please feel free to email me. Otherwise, I look forward to getting your assignments.